Hello there and welcome to New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. I was doing fine till about 15 minutes ago and I just got rid of another copyright, which is not the one we've been talking about recently, another one from a completely different company, and I put on there, I've been using this piece of music for, I look back, more than 3 years, been using this bit of music intermittently, and now they say I can't use it, and I just dealt with that one, and then another one came up from another video with that same bit of music. I think I'm being targeted, and someone said is it since you've hit 4K? And yeah, I'd say more likely is. So I'm saying yes, they want to target you. They assume you're a channel that's making a lot of money and they want you to, YouTube want you to pay up and use their music, which isn't all free from copyright, and or they want you to go, oh, okay, share the money. Share the money. Oh. Okay, so let's begin by, let's go and check out who's on the comment section first of all. And we have our good friends here, Steve and Tina Jewel. Nearly forgot your names. Mine's not with it. Oh, Steve just burnt his porridge. Oh, Steve, don't burn your porridge. Guys, do go and check out Steve and Tina Jewel's channel. I'm having trouble with your name today. I don't know why. Steve and Tina Jewel's channel. And do have a look out for Rover, their dog. Okay, let's get cracking straight away. Let's start with this. And this is really to get my head around what I'm posting, because as you know, I work for the channels on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So I'm doing everything for the channels on those days. So basically I'm editing and possibly filming bits or sorting bits out and posting. And then on Wednesday, I actually schedule the videos for Friday as well, so I can just get on with any narration or other things I need to do. So I get a bit confused what I've posted, what you've seen, and what you haven't seen. So let's start with my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. Today I have just posted on that channel a video of me doing a jigsaw puzzle from start to finish. I have linked a few more underneath that one if you like it. It's not all time lapse. You can see how I actually do a puzzle first of all, so how I sort pieces out, and I'll just give you a heads up. I find all the side bits first. If I don't quite find them all, then I begin. And I do try and challenge myself to find all four corners before I begin as well. So that's how I really go about my puzzles, and look for a particular colour or something that seems quite predominant, and then try and make that bit up. So if you're interested in watching puzzles and different sorts of puzzles, then go and check out my video I've posted today on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. If you want to see more of puzzles, do check out the playlist on that channel, because it's such a multiple channel of so many completely different mad things that you'll need to look at the playlist to find what you're looking for. And then I plan what I'm going to post next, and I write it down. So next time I come to post, I haven't got to faff around and go, oh, what shall I post? I've sorted out the next one and written it in to post. And it's a whole series I've got. I think the playlist is called something like Curiosity Collector, and it's got many different things in there, like the old-fashioned medicine bottles I've got, things like that. And it's also got old newspapers, very old newspapers, but the one I'm posting next is not an old one, and it's just an anniversary newspaper of the Blitz. the blitzing pictures. But if you're interested in the very old newspapers I've got, I'm selling them all. So if anyone wants really old newspapers, I've done a video on each one. So check out the playlist, Curiosity Collector, I think it's called. So that's what's coming up on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. Do head on over there if you haven't come across it yet. We have Ashley's here. Ashley's Allotment Adventures. The British are here. Yes, because I'm from England. Steve and Ashley. Ashley still lives there. He's keeping the home fires burning, as they say. So do go and check out the channel, Ashley's Allotment Adventures. So let me see. I didn't finish reading the comments. Saying hello. Oh, bless. Hi, Jimmy. It's Jason. And Ashley saying, Jimmy, Jason, or Jay, all fine with me. I do love your humour. I do seem to draw people with really good humour onto my channel, and I thank each and every one of you. So what is it about my channel that brings you to my channel? I'd find that quite interesting. I'm trying to straighten my strap up. I just threw it on quickly because obviously got swimwear on. We had, our temperature was 45. I forget what day now. I'm not very good at days. Is it Friday? 45 degrees Friday. Yes, I think it was Friday. 45 degrees C. And then Saturday, they said it would be even hotter. And we got 47 degrees C. Yes, 47. So, yeah. Ashley saying, I collect page 3 from newspapers. If you know, you know. I know. I know. Oh, dear. Yep, Steve knows. Steve knows. Mike bought me some blueberries and it came out wrong. I said, I'm going to go and see my blueberries, but I said that word instead. Mike went, okay then. Because I was going to go and see what he said. He bought me some, so I was going in the fridge to see them, what he got me, what sort of pack or whatever. And I said I was going to see my boobies. Like, okay then, Dawn, off you go then. Okay, so let's see what's happening on this channel. Now, some people have got a little bit confused. I did type it in the titles and I did explain it on some lives, that the videos you're currently seeing of my garden are my garden before we lost our water. I think I've got one more. It's sort of a compilation. I did one more lot of filming. So I have put all these. This is filmed prior to losing all my water. So it is not now. It was in the spring. And I was just too disheartened and too busy to actually edit them. No, they were edited, but I was too disheartened to actually put them up. I'm working now on editing the final one that I went round video, like a compilation, all of it. But what I'm doing is titling that different ways I grow in my garden. This is still filming prior. This is when I started filming more with buckets. So when we got part water and we were doing buckets. So you're still off date, but it's a lot of footage. And as I say, the next ones I edited today, I think it's going to make 3 or 4 parts because I did 2 parts and there's still some footage left because I don't like my videos to go on and on too long. So you've been watching prior to losing all water. You've seen some different areas, what's been growing. And my next video I'm going to post on Wednesday is, I've edited it, took me ages to do it, mosquitoes. prevention to mosquitoes. So if you're having mosquito trouble, then do watch the video that will be posted on Wednesday. Some ideas you'll be like, oh yeah, I know that, but I guarantee there's one or more that you won't know about. So, and some little facts as well. I've got emojis going on. That's so funny. That's funny. One emoji and another in response. So if you're just listening back to this, you've missed out. Actually saying boobies in the fridge. That must have been nippy. Very good. Very funny. Raspberry ripples. Stephen, Tina, Jill. So funny. So funny. So funny. Okay, let's carry on. Let's go to, you will notice I sometimes change my titles of my lives. I don't know if you've noticed. What it is when I finish a live, I set up the next one, the next week's one. So Monday, as soon as I finish Monday, before I switch off, I'm setting up next Monday's. Obviously, I don't know entirely what I'm going to be doing, so I'll put something like let's chat or come and say hi, or because you have to put a title in if you're scheduling it. And then sometimes it's as late as you're just coming on and grabbing stuff what I want to talk about or having an idea. You'll see the title change to what I'm actually going to talk about sometimes. So if you like, hold on, the title's changed. It also helps me know what I'm supposed to be talking to you about, or things I've just got that I can talk about. So I thought we haven't done much of this lately, so I'm going to be doing something a bit more helpful, because I do like to call this channel Come and Learn Something New. So here it is. Caught me. The old music, I knew exactly when they finished because I got so used to it and I edited them to the music. Okay, so I thought we'd talk about, as my title now says, Garden Homemade Liquid Boost Fertilizers for your garden. And these are all notes that I've made myself. In case you wonder, I do read a lot on my channel. It's so I can know what I'm saying. So I've made my own notes, and then I'm going to share them with you, different ideas and thoughts. And it also keeps it in some sort of order. Actually saying that's low, the time my work here is done. Only way now is up, not necessarily Steve. Not necessarily. You haven't known Ashley as long as I have. Okay, so to make liquid fertilizers, you can use this as a boost for your plants rather than just as a fertilizer when you feel you need to. This takes a month to mature. When it matures, dilute to a pale yellow and use on soil or as a spray. Have a large plastic container with a tightly fitting lid, and check though any containers you use weren't previously used for chemicals and so forth. I will give it to you in a minute. Use, you can use it on weeds. And to make it for weeds, make it from a weed that you want to get rid of. Weeds kill their own kind. Did you know that? Also use for deep-rooted weeds such as dandelion, dock, yarrow, wireweed, anything like that, you can use them on. You can also use it for nettles. If you want to get rid of nettles, yes, make it from nettles to use on nettles. And that will also encourage growth in spring for other things. Fill up a container with nettles, completely cover the nettles with water, allow to ferment until the nettles are broken down completely. Be aware some of these things are quite smelly. You can also use fish to make a liquid fertilizer. Place fish scraps inside and cover with water. Make sure you have a tight lid because not only will that smell, but it will attract flies. Let it ferment for a month if you dare. And it's a rich source of trace elements, so you need to use it very diluted. You can also use comfrey, and this gives fruiting plants like pumpkins and tomatoes a really good boost. It's very high in potash. It breaks down quickly with very little solid residue, as its leaves contain a high amount of water. Ashley's saying male urine is great to put in your compost bin. You can use compost, a fungal preventative. Make a tea from compost. The compost must have some animal manure included for it to work. Put some compost in a Hessian bag and soak it in water for a few days. You will need to dilute it to the colour of weak tea. Then spray on your plant leaves every 10 to 14 days. Steve saying Dawn was right when I said no, we can go lower. Nitrogen and carbon. The N is for green materials, the carbon is dry and crunchy materials. If your compost gets too acidic, add extra brown material. Keep your pile active in winter by adding dry material regularly and keep turning. So there's a few little hints and tips there for you, some brief little bits and pieces. Okay, let's go on. Ashley saying nettle fertilizer absolutely stinks. Keep it away from the house. Yes, that's what I said. If you dare, the fish one's worse. The fish one's absolutely terrible. I did a banana one before, banana skin one. You basically just put all your banana skins in a bucket and put the lid on. That's all you need to do for that, and it breaks down. But obviously it takes you a long time to get loads of banana skins, and then by the time they've all broken down, that really did smell. That smelled terrible, really did. Okay, let's go on to this. Okay, so a funny one for you, and seeing as we've got a lot of Brits, as Ashley says, in the house, then you will appreciate this. The doctor was on the phone to his local plumber. He says, the kitchen sink is stopped up and it's most inconvenient. Will you come round and deal with it immediately? The plumber said, it's after 6 p.m. and all my men have gone home. I can't do anything until the morning. And the doctor says, can't you come yourself? And the plumber says, no, I'm going out shortly. And the doctor said, in our profession, you know, we turn out morning, noon or night if someone is in trouble. And the plumber says, all right, doctor, I'll be round soon. The plumber arrived. He looks at the sink. He removes a bottle of aspirins from his pocket and throws the aspirins into the sink. Then he says to the doctor, well, we'll see how it goes on. I'll be back in the morning. Exactly what a doctor does, doesn't he? There's some tablets, take those, see how you go. If it's not better, come back in the morning. Ashley says it's a fact. It's acidic, which breaks down plants. Okay, let's move on. Let's go on to my next section, which is this. So today we have some hacks on cleaning pots and pans. We're very domesticated today. The first one is, some non-stick frying pans become very discoloured. Don't use scourers. Instead, soak overnight in a mild solution of household bleach. Take note, rinse well. Next one, clean a burnt pan by simmering onion skins in it for an hour. Did you know that one? Leave overnight and the blackened particles will just slide away. Or sprinkle with baking soda, adding just enough hot water to moisten. Leave to stand for several hours and rinse off. I like that onion skins one. I haven't heard that before. Anyone know that? Clean your burnt pan by simmering onion skins for an hour. Leave overnight and the blackened particles will slide away. To give that one a go. When an enamel pan is badly burnt, sprinkle with a mixture of 1 tablespoon, 20 grams of salt, 2 tablespoons, 40 ml of lemon juice. Leave for half an hour, then rub gently with a fine wire scrubber or steel wool, not the sort of scrubber some of you are thinking. If an aluminium pan has become discoloured, boil some apple peel in it for a few minutes, then rinse and dry. Never heard of that one. Avoid washing an omelette pan. Just wipe with kitchen paper. Interesting. If you line your grill pan with foil, it will be easy to clean and more efficient. Yes, I always did that. And then I found from, I forget what it's called, one of these little, like Avon, but not Avon, where you get the little magazines that people sell stuff. It's like kitcheny stuff. And there was this, what was it? It was one of those flexi chopping boards, but it wasn't that. And you put that on, it's like a film type thing, and you put that on and everything would just wipe clean off of that. And I don't know what happened to my one, and I can't get another one. If anyone knows what that is, I've forgotten what it is. Let's see. Steve and Tina Jewel, good tip for porridge pot today. Yes, it's like when you do scrambled egg, it's like I love doing that, but you don't want to clean it, or sometimes pancakes can be a bit messy. Ashley says, I can provide video evidence on my fans only page. Steve's taking a rain check on that. Ashley says, I wasn't thinking anything. I'm not from the gutter. I laugh out loud. Now, we were talking just then of hacks, and a lot of hacks are old-timers things, aren't they? Which brings me on nicely to this. I found a nice site, and unfortunately I haven't got the name of it. If I find it again, I will share with you. And it's the ones I've been watching on the YouTube site was showing you like kitchen gadgets from years ago that you might not see now, that kind of thing. I've only watched 1 or 2 of them, so I'll try and get the site for you and I'll share it another live. And they were showing like original kitchen units. You know, they used to be freestanding cupboards. And some small kitchens started off with this big unit, tall unit, and you'd open the door downwards and that would be your kitchen prep area and whatever. And then they showed you Hoosier cabinet. Now, I've never heard that name. It's from the person who invented it. And one of those types of all-in-one cupboard type things, they opened the bottom door and it had a flour sifter rafter in it. Do any of you know these? I think it was more an American thing. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I've never seen them before. And if you were a baker, as in a house baker, like a mother baking, because it was only the mothers that did it in the house in those days. If the man baked, he was a baker in a shop. You'd open the top and it would sift your flour in the top. It was like a big silver chute, and then it would all collect in the bottom. So do any of you know those? I remember the hutches, and you had a cold store, and you also had like a rabbit hutch, it looked like. You had one for meat, and you also had a pie cabinet, which had a grill on the front that would stop bugs getting in, so you could cool your pies. The other thing that I've never seen before was in a big unit they would have, obviously, as I say, freestanding, there would be a little tiny drawer, like a cutlery drawer, but much smaller, and they'd pull it out, and it was curved inside, and it would be where you kept your rolling pin. It was a special drawer for a rolling pin. Does anyone remember those? I've never seen those. I thought that was pretty cool because they take up space otherwise. I've always wanted a farmhouse kitchen, as in freestanding stuff. I really like that. That's what I would have. Not one of these all in one big cupboard type things. I just want, I've got a dresser, but I've got it more for more like a sideboard with like your fancy stuff in. I've got that, but I would like all freestanding, like a farmhouse kitchen. That would be my ideal kitchen. I did design my first two kitchens, but obviously the first one was small, so it had to be practical. And the second one, I had a pine kitchen. I did like that. And then white worktops, work surfaces. But I would like a French farmhouse kitchen. That would be nice. Actually saying the original Formica kitchen cupboards are now highly sought after. I like when you see the Formica, the chairs and tables in a kitchen, the kitchen chairs and tables. I like those. And they were saying about, I've got the wrong term, but they were saying, I think it was a breakfast nook. You kind of still can get those today, but they were very specific, these breakfast nooks. As I say, I think it's American. And then I like linoleum. I do like the old lino floors. That brings back memories. I do like the old lino floors, and they were great for tap dancing on. They really were great for tap dancing on. Yeah, what colours or styles are all your kitchens? My first one was all white. As I said, it was a very small kitchen because there wasn't a bathroom in the first place I bought. So I had to take out some of the kitchen, like a corner of the kitchen, so that there was a toilet, but nothing else. So I took a big chunk out of the kitchen and built a wall. So in the toilet, you then had a big shower. Didn't have a bath. There wasn't room for that. Well, there was a bath when I moved there, but it was not a tin bath, a cast iron bath in the kitchen with a worktop on it. That's why I couldn't get mortgage or anything on it, because you're not allowed to sell a house without a toilet, a kitchen, or a proper bathroom. Steve and Tina say chipboard and MDF not made to last. Actually saying we had the table and chairs when I was little. There was something really neat about those, the look of those, the style of them. Yeah, so my first one, because it was so small, the kitchen, I just had white and then with red handles. I don't know where I got the idea of red from. All red handles. And then even today, a lot of my kitchen utensils are red. That's why most of my utensils that still survived are red. I had everything red for my kitchen. My second kitchen, as I say, was pine, and I think I had white worktops again. I like a white worktop. I really dislike the worktops here. This is how the house was built. Well, this isn't the original kitchen, but it was here when we came. It's like that multicoloured stones, dark grey stones, it looks like. It's not marble. It's not a marble effect. I can't show you it. If you go back to one of my first videos, you'll see my kitchen and you'll see it. Steve remembers the tin bath in front of the fire. No, I don't know that. I know of it, but I don't know that. I don't know that. I seem to recall my parents putting a shower in over the bath. I seem to recall them doing that, but there wasn't a shower there. I seem to recall because there was an issue with it. In the living room, yes. Yes. Okay, let's move on. And let's go on to this. So we are currently looking at my bird book, and each week we look at a different bird. Today we're looking at the great tit, appropriate for our chat. Appropriate for our chat. No bathroom in the house. No, there wasn't in the first house I bought. No bathroom. There was a toilet in a little room, just a toilet. There's no room for anything else. No, there was no bathroom. I was buying my first property at the time in England. The prices were sky high, absolutely sky high. And this was a Victorian house and nothing had been done to it. Apart from, let's say, the most modernism it had was it was an old lady lived there and she put polystyrene tiles on the ceiling for warmth and double thickness polystyrene tiles on every room, every wall of every room. You can imagine. Oh, and then painted over the top with 1970 or 60s colour paint. Can you imagine getting all that off? Yes. Needs must. Dangerous. Yes, absolutely. She did it to keep warm. Okay, so the great tit. Length 14 centimetres, 5.5 inches. It has greyish blue and green upper parts. Virus, indeed. It was as dangerous getting them off because of the smell. Due to its readiness to use one nest box, the great tit is one of the best studied of all birds. By saturating an area with nest box, almost the entire population of great tits can be persuaded to nest, allowing the progress of their breeding to be monitored easily. Natural nest holes in trees are scarcer in gardens than woods, so tit boxes have a strong chance of being used by some of the great tits that have regularly attended the bird feeders in your garden through winter. Recognition. You can recognise a great tit by its size. It's the largest member of the tit family. And here is one in case you're not sure what they look like. There. Very pretty. Gender gap. You can easily distinguish the female by her narrower black breast stripe and less glossy plumage. Noticing the difference shows that males dominate at the feeders. So here's the female's black bit that's very distinctive. So if you see that black bit, that is the female. Voice. In late winter, depending on the mildness of the weather, great tits start associating in pairs and become more vocal. A male sings mostly intensely to acquire a mate, but until the young have flown, he will always sing to advertise his territory. Great tits have one of the largest vocal repertoires of any small bird. Each tit song incorporates several different phrases, which are variations on the basic phrase described as teacher, teacher, or a squeaky bicycle pump. With practice, it's possible to differentiate between the individuals. Perhaps not surprisingly, the tits, I said twits, the tits also recognise each other's songs and do not react to the familiar song of a neighbour whose presence next their territory they have come to accept. However, territory owners will respond immediately to a stranger's song because it represents a dangerous intrusion into their property. There's an amazing variety of calls. The great tit's most familiar pink call is given by territory holders, and a churning note is given when disturbed. In late summer, the TTT calls give away the presence of youngsters that have only recently left the nest. Okay, thanks Ashley for coming. Guys, don't forget to check out Ashley's allotment adventures. Steve says we have chickadees in our apple trees, good for eating bugs. Certainly. The dominant male, whose territory encompasses the bird table, will chivvy visiting great tits. They are allowed on to the bird feeder as long as they know their place and do not attempt to assert themselves. Great tits have a range of calls. Bird watchers say if you cannot identify the call of a garden bird, it is definitely a tit. That's interesting. A great tit climbs up a tree and searches and probes for insects. It uses its tail as a support. There we go. Feeding. Winter food for great tits is largely tree seeds, such as beech mast and even hazelnuts. Great tits are not as agile as other tits and spend more time feeding on the ground. Summer food is mainly insects, especially weevils, but also spiders and small snails. Bird table. Peanuts, seeds, meat bones and fat. Hanging peanut bags, scrap baskets or half coconuts filled with bird pudding allow you the opportunity to observe the antics of the great tit. Nesting. The female builds a nest of moss in the hollow or cleft of a tree or in a hole in the wall and lines it with hair. The amount of time during which the fledglings continue to be fed depends on whether there is another brood, although a second clutch is a rare event. Nest box. Large and standard sized tit boxes. The great tit is one of the most common users of your nest box. Delivering food. A great tit returns to its nest hole with food, usually moth caterpillars for its hungry young family. That's there. And finally, nesting information. April to July, 1 or 2 broods, 5 to 12 reddish spotted white eggs, 13 to 14 days incubation, female, 18 to 20 days fledging, and 1 to 2 weeks until independent. So it looks like we're going through some of the tits at the moment. It's amazing how different they all are, actually. It's pretty interesting. Okay, let's do a little bit of this. Okay, so pastimes were always games, and a lot of the games were actually in your head. You had to think of answers because a lot of people didn't have actual games. Some people didn't even have packs of cards. So they would invent games or play word games. So let's play a game with words, and let's say how many different facial expressions we can think of. How many different facial expressions? Now you're going to be looking through your emojis. How many different facial expressions? Hey, Della's in the house. Della, I've just been filming your olive tree. So I will get round to doing a video on your olive tree, yours and Kathleen's sponsored trees. And you will see that coming up at some point. See that possibly. I've just talking about, I've been editing some footage from before I lost water around my garden. I said there's enough for possibly one or two more. It says part 1, part 2. There's definitely going to be a part 3. I might put it in there. I might put it on the end of part 3 because that'll show how the olives were doing. So, we're playing a little game. We're thinking how many facial expressions we can think of. So how many different facial expressions? I'm just going to write down to do Della's tree in that video. You see my armpit? No. Just writing it on the board so I don't forget. So yeah, it would be part 3. I've forgotten what I'm calling them. I think it's how I grow in my garden, or different ways I grow in my garden. They're the ones I've edited. So when you see different ways I grow in my garden, there's part 1 I've edited, part 2 I've edited, not posted yet. I'll put it in part 3. So look out for that. Thank you. I took your advice, still planting peppers, tomatoes, etc., because the rabbits and rodents here in Texas are terrible this year. Cool. Cool. I wish you luck with those. I wish you much luck with those. Okay, facial expressions. Don't know if I can actually. No, see, I can't do emojis. I can type. I can't do emojis on here. Okay, facial expressions. I'm going to try and think of bizarre ones. Let me think of something bizarre. Facial expression. Enraged, petrified. Steve says, you have a heat wave in Texas, I hear on the news. Do you know degree C, Della, what yours is? Don't give me Fahrenheit because I don't know it. On Saturday, I would say at the beginning, we got to 47 degrees C on Saturday. 47 degrees C. It's cooler today. Other facial expressions. Puzzled. About scheming. Defeated. Oh, that's me. Defeated. Overwhelmed. I'm doing this as therapy now. Overwhelmed. Panicked. Sly, says Steve. I'll continue with my self-therapy. Enraged. A look of disbelief. Stressed. Della's been busy. Happy, sad, mad, upset. Oh, look at the faces, emojis. Right now it's triple digits, but next week it's supposed to be in the 80s. 80s. Keep cool, my friend. Della, I don't know if you've got mosquito issues there, but I'm about to post. I edited it today. I'm posting on Wednesday tips on preventing mosquitoes. Do you have a problem with them there? Do you have much of a problem of mosquitoes? We don't because I do most of what I suggest. There are mosquitoes in Cyprus, don't get me wrong, but because I do what I preach, we don't really get a problem at all. No. 68F. I don't know what these Fs are. I don't know what Fs. I know there's a way of converting it by multiplying by something, dividing by something else, and then take away the number you first thought of. Oh dear, I'll have to go and see what my 47 is. Della says, yes, I walk around my property looking for any standing water. Yes. Yes. A whole video on tips. And I'll be sweating, says Steve. That's why we had a pool here. Apart from needing something for physio, because like exercise, as in exercises physio, is very difficult for me now, like to get in positions and get up from the floor and things like that. So I can do a lot more in the pool physio. So apart from having the pool for that, I think being rural, it's a necessity. It's a necessity. It's so hot. And I think we do more because we know if we get really hot, we can get in the pool. Whereas if we didn't have the pool, you'd kind of not do certain things and think, oh, it's too hot today. So I do think for us, the pool was a necessity, definitely. Yes. I've done lots of videos on different bugs. I've got a playlist. I can never remember what my playlists are called. I think it's Friend or Foe. And I've done a separate video on each sort of bug. So whether it be a garden bug, I've done one on the Oriental hornets. Let me see what's on my list. On my page, this is why I keep pages of what I've posted, because then I just need to go to the page of insects, bugs and insects, mud daubers. They're also called dirt daubers, mud wasp, potter wasp, paper wasp. I've done videos on that. Hummingbird or hawk moth, got a video on that. If you ever want anything and you can't remember where I said it is, then just ask or say, do you have a video on blah, blah? I do that to lots of my friends. I was on Yogi Hollow Farm the other day and I said to Lisa, oh, have you got a video about blah, blah? And she put the link in. So do ask people if you think, oh, do they know about this? I've done one on the Geometro caterpillar, which you may know more commonly as the inchworm. And they're small, all about the inchworm. Some people also call them looper. Some call them measureworms. Some call them spanworms. So I've done a video on those. Steve said, where it gets hot, we go to the sea walk where it's nice and cool. We would tend to go upwards, higher in the mountains, into the pine forest. It's much cooler up there. A massive difference in temperature between here and further up, massive. And you have to remember, if you go up in spring when it's warm here, sometimes if you go right up to the top of the Troodos Mountain, it's actually cold. What else we done? Cucumber beetle. Done a video on those, and they're not just on cucumber, they can be on broccoli, any brassica, tomatoes. Millipedes, how to get rid of millipedes if they come into your home. What else? Hornets, all about hornets. We have the Oriental hornet here. Slugs, tips and solutions, ants, forester cooler as well, wasps, bagworms. If you don't know what a bagworm is, they're very interesting. They look like a little cocoon, maybe about that long, thin. Think of like a caterpillar width, a thin caterpillar, about that long, and that's kind of like a hermit crab. It makes this bag. If you ever see like a grass spear, it looks a little bit like that. You think it's a bit of grass or something on the ground, but they've weaved this, like, not cocoon, like this little bag, and then they're in it. And then you see their head come out. So think like a snail. Their little head comes out, and then they move the bag along. So it's attached to their body, and they move along. It's a bagworm. If you want to see about that, just ask me for a link when I've got my links. Oh, actually, I could bring the link up. Video 261. I have my Word doc still up from this morning. So I go on my Word doc for new beginnings, video number 261. That won't help you because my videos aren't numbered. The reason my videos aren't numbered is if I numbered them, there wouldn't be space to put all the words in. What did I say? 200? 261. I'm on 300. 261, nearly there. 261. I don't want to go too fast or else it goes weird. There's the video, copy and paste. So if you want to see, there it is. There. Steve says we're getting very large cobwebs full of caterpillars. Ooh. Hey, Blue, so I'm late. We're sort of apologising, Blue. It's not like you have to be here. I'm trying to get things done today, about 6 hours worth in 10 minutes. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Guys, do go over and check out the awesome Blue on her channel, Blue Self-Reliant. Blue, I made a video with you in it today. It's not posted yet. You're in it. I don't know when I'm posting it. Soon, very soon, very soon. Maybe Friday. Maybe, because I've got one up ready for Wednesday. I've written it in. Oh, maybe Friday. Keep tuned. Oh, the face. Oh, eyes. I do love emojis. When they first came out, I really detested emojis, but on this kind of thing, they're really cool. Really cool. Oh, how? How? Oh, you'll see. Oh, yeah, so I'll talk about what other bug videos I've done. Wood lice. We call them wood lice, but they're called roly-polies, pill bugs, potato bugs, saw bugs. Most of my research when I do these bug videos is finding out all the different countries, what everyone calls them. Whitefly. Oh, solutions for whitefly. Done a whole video on that. Hornworms, the life cycle, and eco solutions. Yes, eco solutions on hornworms, slow worms, and they do have teeth. And those who tell me they don't have teeth, I've got a picture in the video of their teeth to show you. A slow worm opened its mouth and there are his really sharp, nasty teeth. We've got cameras up in my house. Oh, you found out. Wood lice are edible. You're welcome to them. Would you like me to send you some? Got plenty of wood lice. Yes, I was very sad I was, I said I had to work out what things I was trying to save in my garden because there was no way I could save everything. Well, I got a bit self-indulgent and I decided to try and save my melons, my sweet yellow melons, which weren't yellow at that point. And that was an indulgent because I really loved them and that was going to be a treat. And one the other day was nearly ready and I just picked it up because you sort of push it a little bit to see if it's ready, and it smelt really nice. And as I picked it up, I turned it over and there was none of the back half of it. The whole back half was full of wood lice. More devastation in my garden. And that was something I was bucketing and really made an effort to get that watered. Slow ones are lizards. You have plenty. You're all full time on the wood lice. What else? Millipedes, all about millipedes. Oh, and yeah, I did a video, I say recently, not that long ago, on these little red and black bugs. They're not ladybirds, but that's the closest I can sort of say to you. They're not ladybirds. They're not round like ladybirds. They're longer. And I did a whole video on them because it was what made me do the video is they're dead common here. Europe, they're common. In France, they call them the gendarmes because you normally see them in twos. So they call them the gendarmes after the police. And I just thought they were common. And in America, they suddenly had them appear. And it was on all their news, on Fox News and NBC News, because I get all the American news here. And they were saying about these bugs and they think they must be really dangerous, and they're calling in scientists to see what they are. They're not dangerous. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to make a video on them. And I did. So I made a video on those. Oh, and also on that video, there's other things like the stink bugs and things like that with ID, how you can ID what different grubs and things are. Mealy bugs, how to stop mealy bugs. And as I say, on Wednesday, I'm going to post my mosquito prevention video. Blue saying, wood lice are buggers. They always get the strawberries. They're rotten things. I got my strawberries in hanging baskets. I got mine in hanging baskets. The wood lice thanks you. Blue says, I think it's only fair we fry them up since we can't have our strawberries and melons. Oh dear. Each to their own. You can have your wood lice. I don't fancy them. I would imagine they're not chewy. You probably just swallow them. Probably just swallow them. I don't fancy those. What I do fancy, not that I'd eat it, but the great big hawk moths, the really fat, furry hawk moths. They are fat. They look really meaty. And Pebbles, one of my cats, loves them. If she hears one, she gets all excited. And you have to sort of hold her up to where one might be flying on the window and she can't reach. Hold her up and she gets it. Or you swat it down, but she won't have them dead. She's got to know it's alive, and then she eats them. And now Kit, our baby cat, he listens for them now. It's like, oh no, that's Pebble. She has those. They're basically lamb prawns. I guess they are, aren't they? I guess they are, Blue. Are we going to see a recipe with them, or would you just eat them like like a snack? You just eat them like a snack. Toss them in your salad. No, not for me. I don't think they're filling, but they're probably full of vitamins, something like that. Probably good for you. They must be good. Hedgehogs like them. Hedgehogs are very healthy animals. Yes, very good. What's the time? Oh, we're nearly over time. let's do a quick something. Let's do a would you rather to finish with today. Do I have a would you rather available? Let's see. Ooh. Would you rather have a very old photograph of your past relatives, or would you rather have your favourite photograph to treasure? So you can only have one. Would you rather have your favourite photograph, whatever that is, to treasure, or would you have one as far back as you can of relatives of yours? So if I was to say, I've got a picture of like relatives, you haven't seen a picture of them, really old. Do you want that? But you have to give up your picture, your most treasured picture. What one would you have? Blue says they're both the same picture. It's lovely. Blue saying, I shall leave that in the capable hands of Hugh Fernley Whittingstall for the end of season 1 of River Cottage. Oh, okay, not that then, says Blue. Yes, you can have one or the other. Well, Blue says it's the same picture, so that's good. I would say whatever my most treasured is. I think we've talked about this before. My favourite picture, I think I've done a short on it. My favourite picture is one of me and Mike when we were dating. I think I've showed it on a live as well. Favourite picture, and I made him go in a photo booth, and I was like, he might think this is silly, but I want a picture of us together. We were like, it wasn't like first date or anything like that. We were a couple, but still dating phase. Yes, and I'm glad we got the picture. Yes. Okay, I'm going to finish there today because I'm over my hour. Oh, just to say, I did pop on to AdSense where they tell you how much money you've got, because I said we should have gone over the 70, and it looks like, what was it? It's 74 euros something. Didn't write it down, so I can't remember. 74 euros something, but I'm sure my total is on the 21st of June, and it says no transactions yet. So I think they've just put the amount up because 17th is too early. They don't do it that early. It's between the 21st and the 27th. I'm sure mine's the 21st. So it looks like I might get a payout, but I will keep you posted. I will keep you informed. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching back later. Thank you to all of you who are running my playlist. I told you it would work. Next month should be even better because they pay a month behind. And I know a lot of you have said you're running my playlist like this month. So that will be next month we see results of that. So thanks for being here. And I will see you again on, I had to work out what day it is, Wednesday. I will see you on Wednesday. Have a wonderful time until then, and may everything go right for you. Okay, bye for now. And as always, Meraki.